Social Media Setup Part 2. Are you building your digital assets for your event promotion? Hey guys, I'm Sheryl Loch with Ginger Roots Media, and I do digital marketing strategy. And today I have with me.
Hey guys, I'm Lany Sullivan and I'm with Events by Lany and we do event production. Alright, so digital assets are a big deal. Now, you might not even know what digital assets are, and if you do, great, very proud of you. But let's talk about what they are and why they're important. So, Sheryl, let's just start with the first thing. What is a digital asset?
Your digital assets are things you're going to use online to
Shocker.
promote your event. Yeah. Now, Lany, how far out should you start gathering these, just so they know whether they should have already had them gathered or if they should start gathering them now?
As soon as you start putting up your brand pages, which we talked about in the last video, you should have the beginning steps and stages of all of your digital assets. You don't have to have them all built out, but you need to have your main foundation templates and colors and fonts and logos. You need to have those built so you can create the rest of what we're going to talk about.
So, like she said, this isn't something you're going to get on the last minute.
No.
These are going to be used to promote your event through the building phase. So you're going to use these to start building your content calendars for every platform you're on. That can include all your social sites. It can include any ads you're going to be building. It can include your brand website.
And
which,
your email.
Yeah, brand website, you really do need to have.
Yes.
I'm not going to go into website building because that's not my specialty, although we do talk about what people have done wrong. But so these are assets you're going to use and your team is going to use throughout. You may not have all of these the very first day. You can't go in and say, I'm going to get all these. But you're going to keep gathering them as you plan out your event. So to build your content calendar, your social media person, your web designer, whoever's handling your list, they're all going to need these very basic things. Depending on your event, there can be a whole boatload more, but these are going to be your basics, must have immediately. We're going to start, like Lany said, with your branding logos. You should have a branding logo, not just in one format or giant or just with a white background. You're going to want it with transparent backgrounds. You're going to want it in different file formats. Depending on what you're using it for, you may want different sizes. So if you've got a graphic designer building this, maybe you haven't had it made yet, you're going to want to make sure that you have several layouts for it, not just the logo, but maybe as a watermark, big, small, using on PDFs, emails, images, videos.
And even though we're talking about digital, your logo, if you decide to print something at your event, your logo, there's the vector files are different for printing versus digital. So make sure that your graphic designer knows to create both if you plan on actually printing any material on site.
Now, we were talking about your logo, but you also need the logos of your speakers, of anyone that is going to participate as someone you want their logo on things and you're going to be promoting. Your sponsors, you need those same type of logos from all of those people. Not your attendees, but your speakers, your guests, your sponsors, your partners, whoever it is that you're going to be promoting. Your digital team needs those from them too. And this doesn't just include a logo. As for your personal event brand, you want a list of all your color codes and the little hex codes. If you don't know what one is, you can Google it real quick. But this way, your colors across all images, all things built, all things made can match. So you're going to want all of your exact hex codes for your logo and your branding.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to want your fonts. Some logos and some branding has specialty fonts. Some of these are paid fonts that if you're not careful, whoever made your freaking logo used some crazy ass font and you have no access to it, or it looks really cute on your logo, but if you expect to use it as a watermark or on a video or anything else, it looks like crap. So if you haven't built your logo yet for your event, keep that in mind when talking to your branding designer, because those fonts can be used for all kinds of things, even on whether it be print or digital. Look at your font, make sure you have access to it and your digital team has access to it. And you're going to want to decide on templates so that everything is somewhat uniform. You're going to have different image sizes, you're going to have different ways you do things, but you're going to want a general template so that your media team can look at this and design around it.
And you can have different templates. They don't all have to match and be exact, but they
Please don't make them all the exact same, because that's ad blindness, that's boring. Let's have a variety.
Yes, so you can create 3 to 4 to 6 different types of templates. They obviously need to match your entire branding scheme, but you don't, one template is boring.
Because if you use one template and it's got colors that you're going to use this on different things, the colors may not always work. So make sure you have a variety of these templates. And don't say, that doesn't match my exact branding template. You know what? Sometimes it just doesn't work. And sometimes you got to break the monotony, or maybe nobody's noticing those awesome templates you made and you need to shake it up. You may have to completely change those templates because they aren't working.
Exactly.
So don't get stuck in that. Another thing you're going to need in your digital assets folder is images for each platform. So if you're going to have not just templates, but special promotional images or the backgrounds for them, you're going to want them sized and in a format for each and every platform you tend to use them on.
So I might send you down a rabbit hole here in a second, but let's talk about images. And I know that we might talk about video down the road, but let's talk about copyright. So there's a lot of people who use stock images. Great and fine. There's a plethora of websites where you can get stock images from. But what would you like to say about stock images, Cheryl?
Stock images, make sure you're getting them from somewhere that is reliable. If you go to a site that says free images, guess what? They could have stole them from somewhere else, put them up, and you're now using them. Guess what?
Copyright violation.
Not just a copyright violation, you could end up in court. All of your promotion could be taken down. And let me tell you what, when you violate copyright and some of those things, when they find out you are a brand, especially if you're pulling in some money, guess what they want? They want all that stuff taken down. You've now wasted and spent masses of money to have people build this, to have people share it, to put it all out. You not only lose it, you could find yourself in court. So don't go to a free image site to get your images unless you feel more than assured that they're safe, and there's very few of those. If you stick with sites that are reputable, lots of them you have to pay a membership for. One thing you need to be looking through is your own images. Do you have your own images that you can use? Because then you know who owns the copyright if you took them with your little camera. Maybe you have images from last year's event or a similar event you went to that you can ask them, hey, can I use this? There's a lot goes into copyright that I'm not going to fully go into right now. Although I tell you what, we've probably got some links to another channel that we happen to know.
We know the attorney that we.
Yeah. And she talks a bit about your intellectual properties and things like that, and we'll put the links below this video. But the thing is, This is your brand, your reputation. Don't just steal images.
Protect it.
Yes, because it'll cost you far more in the long run than going and maybe paying for a site.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reputable ones, but if you're not 100% positive that you've read the terms of use, you may not be able to use them commercially. Boom! Guess what? You're in deep shit. Maybe you aren't even allowed to use them in print. You can use them digitally, not print. Maybe you can use them in print if you only make out 100 copies. There's all kinds
and
of
I
terms.
see it all the time. Like, I see event creators and business owners
I
using.
think we've worked with some.
Yeah, we've worked with a few, but I see it all the time, and the first thing I'm like, do you own those images? Do you own those video clips? Because if you don't, and you're doing an event promotion, and you've got these amazing video clips, and there's an Oprah's in it, like, you can't put Oprah in your videos. Like, you will get.
Do you want to go down that road of video,
No, we
music,
really don't.
and copyright?
We really don't, but I really want you to understand that when you're creating a promo video and when you're creating promo images, you have to own the content, or you have to get it from a site that gives you commercial use. Again, we're not attorneys, we're not giving you legal advice, but you need to make sure that you're protected.
I'm not an attorney, but I've paid one thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands
Yes.
of dollars.
Yes, and we have attorneys on hand, so we can definitely connect you with ones that know the laws and how to protect yourself. But we are hammering on this because we've seen it too often, and because we work with you and we're sitting here looking at your event images, we want to protect you. We want to help you. This is meant to help you.
I want to save my own ass.
Right. We don't want to be, we're tied to it too, so we could potentially obviously be liable. So it is a big issue. So when you're using images and you're using anything for promotion, you've got to make sure you have rights to it. Again, and talk to an attorney to get your legal rights, to know what you can do. But
that includes when you have your logo made. You go, and I'm not going to say anything bad about Fiverr because there's some great people on Fiverr, but if you go somewhere and you get someone to make your logo for your event, and maybe they aren't as experienced, or maybe from another country and don't understand our copyright laws, they could use an image that is copyrighted. It's now what you're putting out as your logo, and guess what? You're in deep trouble. So if you want to understand more about copyright, like I said, we'll leave some links. If you're going to make videos and trying to figure out your logo stingers and your intros and have music and all, that's a whole new rant for me. But this is just basic, keep it in mind. So what else do we need when you have speakers? Were you going to say something?
I was going to say speakers.
Okay, I was going to say, I have to stop with the copyright. I can feel myself. We've got the AC on. I can feel myself getting a little warm. But speakers. So when it comes to speakers, you're going to want to promote them. So you need speaker headshots, images. Some speakers may have lots of images where they're on stage or with people. You're going to need those. You're going to need permission to use them. If they've taken photos from other events, be a little leery. The other event may not like you promoting with their event. If they have other people in the image. So if you've got someone who took a selfie with someone else, if you don't have permission from that other person, watch that. So stick with the speaker in more of a
headshot space. Is getting a headshot.
Headshots are so boring. Sure, use headshots, but
we might disagree a little bit on this, but that's
make
okay.
sure that if you're going to use different images, that they have full rights to use them. So you're going to need their images, you're going to need their one sheet, and you're going to need their bio, because your social media person, your web designer, everybody is going to need to know more about them and have access to all that at the click of their fingers. We're not going to chase down your speakers and get this. If I have to chase them down, I hit the time clock and I start charging. So get all that from them. If they agree to speak, that's part of the contract. They send you all this.
And make sure that all of your images, from your logos to your promo images to your speaker images, they're all high-res images. And I believe that it's a 300 DPI for printing. And I know that I probably shouldn't say it because I don't remember it for sure, but 300 DPI I'm pretty sure is your print resolution. So just make sure that all of your images though are high res, because they look better. If somebody decides they're like, oh, I want to print something, you don't want your logo and your images all showing up pixelated. So you want to make sure that they look smart and clean and fresh and really on point. All right, so the next thing is, are you running affiliate links for your ticket sales, for your event at all?
And I would say for your speakers. Sure, you might have affiliate sales for your event. You're going to need a way for everyone to sign up, get those links. You want to have that all set up. But for digital assets, here's the big one. Lots of times when you have speakers, what you're going to do is set up a JV program so that you're an affiliate or a JV for whatever product they're selling or promoting during your event. You want to make sure you have all of those too, because your social media person, not only in promotion, but on down the line, needs those affiliate links. So if you're going to have affiliate links either for yourself, your event, your sponsors, or your speakers, get those all together with the contract so your people on your team know exactly what they can and can't do with the affiliate links, who they belong to, what they belong to. They need all the info about those. So, along with speakers, swipe files.
Yep.
Yeah, you need something already written out so that anyone, be it your affiliate or your speakers, can go in and copy it and email it to their list. Put it on social media.
Yeah.
They don't want to create this crap.
Don't leave it for them to create. You want to have your brand voice through all of your event promotion across all channels. So don't leave it to your attendees and your speakers and your social media person to create their own voice about your brand voice and about your event. Make sure that you have all of your swipe copy that is easily accessible, and as they sign contracts, you send them all their promo images and their swipe copy, and it's done. Makes it easy.
Yeah, because we don't trust them to write anything.
No.
And also, don't forget, in your promotions, if you're looking at doing any kind of interviews, webinars with your sponsors, with your speakers, all that, you want a calendar laid out for that. So your team knows exactly when that is and when they need to promote it, because without that lined out ahead of time, there can't be everything included to promote it. So get that in line. I mean, this can all go into a folder that you can share. Most of this is going to go to your entire digital marketing team. And some of it may just be for speakers. This is going to be a work in progress, because depending on your event, as I said, there could be a whole boatload more things you need to include in this. This is just your basic must-have. So,
I think
we got them.
I think we've covered everything for now. These are, like Sheryl said, these are your basics. So, and it sounds like a lot, and you might be overwhelmed at this point, but once you start diving into it, it's all...
You're not overwhelmed. It's easy.
Shh. But it's all going to make sense. And it's all actually going to come sort of naturally, because if you've got a graphics person doing a lot of this stuff, you're just going to be like, hey, I need X, Y, and Z. And, you know, they're going to give you a style guide, and that style guide's going to have, and they'll probably call it a style guide. We aren't calling it that, just because we want to make sure that you have each piece individually broken down and understood. But, you know, your logos, your templates, your colors.
Your style. That just confuses me.
It's not fashion. It's graphics. But all of those things are going to be in that document, that style guide from your graphics designer. So it really isn't as massive as it sounds, even though it's very detailed.
So there you go. Make sure you like this video, dislike this video, subscribe to the channel, and if you have comments or questions, leave us a note.
And we'll have a checklist for you guys on this, so make sure you download it. Oh, but wait.
You got to belong to the email to get the downloads, and when you join the email list, we're also going to be having some live Q&As. So Get on that list so you can get your downloads with your little checklist, and we'll let you know when we're going to do some live Q&A for just them.